Hi everyone, this is Afia from Crafty Me 2017. Welcome to my channel. I'm really happy that you're here. Please excuse my nervousness. This is my first ever voice recording and I'm very nervous, so I hope you appreciate that. But welcome to my channel and thank you for following me on Instagram. Those of you who know that I'm on Instagram. Just wanted to say a quick hello, and I thought I'd do a little introduction to myself while I'm doing a little bit of a therapeutic painting, let's say. So while I do the therapeutic painting, I'm just going to talk a little bit about myself and, well, let's see how it goes. Hope you enjoy this video and hope you like it, and if you like it, subscribe and follow me on Instagram and give me a thumbs up, and we'll see how things go. So let's get going. So first of all, I've already stamped my image over here of this lovely leaf, Stampendous leaf. This one, it's one of my favorites, and I'm going to be doing some watercoloring with my Gansai Tambi watercolor, this one. And let's see, I've already just stamped it with a basic archival ink, no embossing or anything. So let's see how things go. So I've got my water ready and I've got my palette ready. So let's start with a nice yellow. And I particularly like loose watercoloring because it helps me to relax, and I've noticed that whenever I do anything very formal, it makes me more nervous. So loose watercoloring helps me relaxes me, both in my mind and body, and I can feel free and easy and be adventurous at the same time. So it's not just about feeling free and easy, it's being adventurous at the same time. So let's see now a little bit about me. I'm Afia. I'm 40 years old. I'm proud to say that I'm 40 years old. Some people are actually a bit iffy about giving away their number. So I'm very proud to be 40 years old. I'm a mother of 4. I'm a housewife. And in my spare time, I love to do arts and crafts of various kinds. I used to do watercoloring before, but not so brilliantly. I like crocheting, I love baking, and so what made me get into mixed media? 2016, after having my youngest one, I really wanted to polish up on my watercolor skills and I didn't know where to start. So hop onto YouTube and I see not just watercolor, I come across mixed media, papercraft and all these other beautiful work. And at first I thought, no, I'll just leave it alone, it's not for me, let me just stick to watercoloring. And then one day I saw a page that really inspired me. It was cupcakes actually, so very close to my heart, cupcakes. So I thought, why not start off with the cupcake page. So eventually what I did, I went to one of my favourite stores, Hobbycraft in the UK, and I bought a few little items, and it just started from there really. One afternoon my little one was playing about on the floor and I thought, you know, she's playing, I've got a bit of free time, let me get my things out and see what I can do. And I made a page, created a page, and it felt so good and relaxing. I really enjoyed it, and it was just so relaxing, and I thought I need to do more. And naturally it just built up from there really, one page at a time, going to my Hobbycraft store and ordering online little items, things that I was comfortable with. That's the other thing. You have to find something that you're comfortable with. If not, you're just in the deep end really from day one. So it's like little steps. So all these little steps led me to creating art journals. That was something brand new to me. I didn't know what art journaling was all about, and that was new because I always thought whatever you draw, whatever you paint, it goes onto the wall. That's it. And I didn't realize then that if you art journal, it can be in a journal for you to keep, for you to see, for you to share if anyone wanted to see. But most importantly, your place where you can be free and adventurous in your creations. So I carried on doing art journaling, and then I was inspired to try and get some of my work done on canvases. So I did some acrylic paintings on canvases, and it turned out really nice. And the best part of it was my anyone I shared it with, whether it be in family, mostly in family, they were very supportive and encouraging, and said that whatever it is that I was making, that it looked really good. So that's the other point of encouragement, where you have positive feedback from people you look up to. They give you positive feedbacks, they say how good it is, or they tell you where you can improve and what it means to them when they see your piece of work. So that was also encouraging. So canvases, and then carried on with art journaling, tried out watercoloring and all kinds of mediums. The mixed media part of it was very new to me, but it took a while for me to grasp hold of what the mediums meant, what gesso was, and what gesso did, and what each medium was used for, and how each one was an advantage for each other. It was all very new to me, but and it took a while for me to get used to. I'm liking how my leaf is turning out. Don't know what you think. So anyway, carried on with the learning process, and then carried on. My first ever big canvas, was, you might have come across on my Instagram page, is about autumn. I've forgotten the quote now. It's one of my favorite quotes, but it was about autumn, and it was all about leaves. And in fact, one of these leaves are featured. This leaf is featured in that canvas, and that was an eye-opener for me, and I so enjoyed it because I used all kinds of methods on there. So each time I was just discovering really, and these discoveries were so therapeutic. I actually did this for therapeutic reasons. So every night when I would put the whole house to bed, I'd have a couple of hours to myself. I used to normally watch something to pass my time, but when I got into this, I thought, why not try out a page each night? So that's what I would do. I had a little dressing table top back then, which was about, the size of this mat really, which is about 10 inches by 16. It was about that size, and I used to have all my tools and paints and papers in a large box. So I'd get that out, spread it out, and work every night on my dressing table top. And regardless of all the tight space and small space and the restrictions, let's say, it didn't stop me from carrying on. I carried on, and it was so brilliant for my therapeutic reasons. I was going through a bit of a hard time then, that it made me just want to keep going, which I did. And my daughter would come every morning to my room and look on my dressing table because she always liked to see what I would create each morning and be fascinated with what eventually came up. So hopefully I should be able to do a video one day on my books, just to show you, give you an idea of what my books looked like eventually. So we're almost done on this leaf, so I think I'm going to add some more colors as I go along. I love to create layers on watercoloring. That's another fascinating thing. I didn't know how to layer. So you see all these little layers over here, yellow and the green, they all combine so beautifully, and it creates this lovely color layers. So anyway, moving on, I opened a blog which was inspired by a lovely lady called Kira, and she inspired me a lot and helped me with my journey on opening the blog, where I wrote about the things that I did, and it carried on. And then the following year, another friend of mine persuaded me to open an Instagram account, so I opened that and I simply carried on. So it's just never ending really. And then I think I'm going to do some outside painting now. And then what happened was there was last year May, I suddenly got inspired to do some journaling, so I started journaling. Right, so I just went off camera a little bit and used my drying tool to dry up the inside, because I want to do a bit of outside watercolouring. So as I was saying, I opened an Instagram account, and after that I came across journaling, so I did some journaling, and that's another kind of therapeutic thing for me to do. Carried on with that. And then there was a charity event happening near where I lived, so my friends were saying, we should make some cards. So I thought, why not be a bit adventurous and try making some cards? And it was from then on really I found my passion for cards. So that's where it began, and I haven't looked back since. So I love making cards. I never knew that I would be, venturing into card making. The funny thing was that every time I said to myself, I don't need this, or I don't need that, or that's not for me, it was so odd that not too much later, I was actually doing the very thing that I was saying that's not for me. So I was very surprised at how each time I said something like that I'd end up doing it. Oops. So, and then even with materials, I was thinking, oh, I don't need gesso, I can do without gesso. Then I realized what gesso did for me, and then matte medium and all those kind of things. And then these hole punches, these fancy hole punches, creating these lovely shapes. I thought, no, I don't need those. And then every time I was just laughing to myself, I've ended up, getting those things that I thought I didn't need. So there you have it. I think I've actually said enough about what I am doing. How I came about into mixed media or creativity. I've always loved creating. Actually, prior to that, before coming into mixed media, I used to crochet. I still do crochet. And then what happened was, after my youngest one was born, she would, when she came to age, in a few months, she would run away with my yarn. So half the time I was chasing her for my yarn instead of crocheting. So I thought, okay, I've got to put a halt to that. So I used to really love crocheting. I've actually recently got back into it again because I missed it so much. and I crocheted a lot. Used to make hats and blankets and scarves. Every year I would make scarves and hats for my children for the winter season, and they would sometimes get bored of it, actually thinking, oh mom, you're making it again. But no, it was a great joy for me because I could give them something that was handmade. That's the thing about handmade items, about how much emotion goes into a handmade piece. And for the person receiving it, whether it's your own children or you're giving it as a gift, it's handmade, and it's made using your time, using your time and your feelings go behind it, because you're making it for somebody with them in mind and hoping that they will like what you've made for them. So that's the thing about creativity. I know in some areas or sometimes it's not appreciated well enough by some people, but that hasn't discouraged me from carrying on with what I like doing in the crafty world, whether it's crocheting, sewing, baking. Well, actually baking is welcomed by everybody because you eat the nice things, isn't it? So yeah, so just a little message from me is, don't let anything discourage you. Try out the things that you feel you're comfortable with. That's the other thing. You will find in your journey that you're comfortable with something more than something else, and that should initially be your boost in carrying on. Oh, I really like how this is turning out. The other boost is when you have people around you who are really encouraging, and when you have that, even on social media, when you have that boost from other crafters who give you these lovely comments on a piece that you've worked on, it's to me it's mind-blowing that there's someone out there who's never seen you, never heard you, but they like your work. And I love the crafting community. I don't know what I would have done without them. They're amazing. Each and every individual out there who has inspired me, or even those I haven't actually come across, who I haven't come across, they've got something or the other that they're gifting away in their crafty way, and I love it. I love the crafty world. I love the crafty people. I love anything crafty. Well, you can guess now, actually, that's why I've called it Crafty Me, because it's my work. I show, I share. I love sharing. I love sharing what I do. I love the fact that in the crafting community, that's the other thing, that the crafting community are not shy of sharing what they make, because I used to always come across, prior to the crafty world, on how people can be really, I don't know whether to call it stingy or selfish when it comes to sharing what they make or how they made it. Because I think that's just amazing that you can share what you make with people and they can go and create something using your method. Or it doesn't really matter, using your method they can go and create something. It's fascinating how different people actually take one idea and use it and create something. I'm almost finished, and I really like my leaf. It might end up as a card, I'm not sure yet. But as you can see, I've made this, painted this, and it's been very therapeutic. I'm sorry if the video is really long. This is my first ever voiceover. Not voiceover, live speaking I'm doing, so I'm very new to this world. Got lots to learn, and I'm enjoying learning it because it gives me the ability to polish up on my skills, let's say, and be able to make my next video better, hopefully. There we go, almost done. I love the watercoloring effect where something just fades out, giving it a misty look. I have made mistakes, I always make mistakes, but that's the best part of it with mixed media. Whatever mistakes you make, you can use it to your advantage and correct it. So here we go. So sorry if I got off camera a little bit, but here we go. I'll put up some pictures later on of a better image, but thank you so much for staying with me for this long. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe and share with your friends, and I hope to be able to see you next time. Bye.